Hello everyone, I am Josh and welcome to this Sims 4 house building video. Now today I am building a cozy Tudor style home here in Willow Creek. So this is a house that I've been wanting to build for a little while because I really love this style of house, so I thought I'd give it a go in The Sims. And initially it was a little difficult to find kind of the correct wall pattern for it because Tudor houses tend to have like a dark wood kind of, I don't really know how to describe it. It's not like trim, but it's more of like a dark wood supports with kind of white plaster in between, and like they usually have some kind of intricate pattern or something. It definitely makes these houses very unique. And they also, in real life, have an overhang of some sort, which you can see I'm trying to do here, but it just does not work out. So I end up removing the overhang, but leaving that trim there between levels to kind of simulate it. But I end up finding a good wallpaper, and it does end up turning out very nicely in the end. So this house ends up having 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, or it's really 2.5 bathrooms, but you know, can round up, and you know, it's a decent size. The couple of the bedrooms are a little small, but otherwise it's not too bad. And it does take me a little while to work out the floor plan because it was a little wonky, especially with that diagonal room, which you can see I just added. But overall, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and you'll see I put a lot of detail on the outside with some ivy and a lot of nice landscaping and stuff, so it turns out really nicely. So you can see here, I put kind of that weathered shingled roofing on, and here I'm putting on some brick, and I'll also put some stone on. So brick and stone are also pretty common on these houses, and the upper layer, or the upper level, is going to be a paneling of some sort because, of course, The Sims 4 doesn't have that kind of a barn paneling that The Sims 3 did, which would have been perfect for this. But I was able to find a really nice wallpaper that worked well, which was good because you can see here it's taking me forever to find one. There it is. So that's the one I ended up going for. And you can see it looks pretty good, especially once I put windows on. So I use a lot of these shuttered windows. So you can see there I have them on the front, and I'm just changing the trim color here. And yeah, so it turns out very nicely. So here I'm just putting some more brick and stone around. And to add some more detail, I put some columns on the corners of all the walls. So it makes it look like there's more trim. So it looks very nice. I don't know, I really like doing that, putting those columns on the corners like that. It's something that I've only been doing really recently, but it's something that I've been doing in a lot of my houses recently too. So I don't know, it's just something that I like to do. So here I'm just expanding the house a bit because it was a bit small, and you can see it's pretty simple in shape. Like, it's basically a rectangle with some protruding bits coming from it, but you know, it's a very nice shape. It's very simple, but it definitely looks pretty I don't want to use the word advanced, but not intricate, but you know, it's a nice shape. It's not too like ridiculously intricate, but it's not too basic. So it is kind of like that perfect mix. And you can see here I'm putting some ivy on the house. Now you're probably thinking there is no ivy in The Sims 4, and you'd be right. That's because those are actually flower boxes with some ivy thing in them. So technically those are just a bunch of flower boxes just kind of put together using move objects to look like ivy. And I saw that on some houses on the gallery, and I thought it was a really great idea. And I would say who did that, but I can't remember the name of the person that I saw doing that. But anyway, it was a really cool idea. So you know, it just looks really nice. So especially on this style of house, you can see here just putting some more kind of crawling up the side there, and it does actually look pretty convincing. I mean, once you get close to it, you can kind of tell it's flower boxes, but from this distance here, you can see it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks very convincing. And putting some more around the place, changing the foundation color. And there's also a nice back porch here, or patio, I don't really know. I think it's a porch, porch. So got a little covered area there, and then a little area that's not covered, so it's very nice. And putting some stairs in there, those are always nice to have, and nice little railings and all that. So you can see pretty nice. You can see that the outside of the house is pretty much almost done here. I'm just going to put some windows in. Yeah, here I messed around with this diagonal part because the windows weren't fitting in evenly. So I thought, you know what, I'll make it bigger, but then I didn't. And then later on, when I tried to put the dining room in that area, I tried to make it bigger again and fail. So I muck around with that a bit, but it ends up staying the way it is in the end. So here we are, beginning on the floor plan. So as you can see right now, it's pretty big. I mean, it's not huge, but it's got a decent amount of space in it, but that diagonal did create some problems. So the living room ends up being that large room here where I'm putting the fireplace in. So definitely the biggest room in the house is the living room, which is kind of nice. And I was going to put the dining room in that diagonal part, but I don't end up doing that because it just did not work. So that room I built there was going to be the study, but I ended up moving it to the diagonal part. So the diagonal part ends up being the study, and where the study is currently the little room next to the stairs ends up being the kitchen. So I kind of swapped them because right here this diagonal island bit was not working, and once I tried to put a dining room in there was not enough room. So, you know, it took a little bit of work, and I tried expanding the house. As you can see, I'm trying to do that right now, and the diagonal was giving me a lot of problems, very annoying. Sometimes diagonals are just the most annoying thing in the world, so you can see here, yeah, it just did not want to work, and it looked terrible, so I ended up ditching that idea. So you can see here, I'm just going to muck around with it a lot, and it's just not going to work, basically. So here we go. Yeah, like there's also these really weird little like pointy bits that crop up when you kind of move diagonal walls in and out like that, like where I'm dragging them in now. You can see it's like weird angled bits and stuff that I don't even know how the game comes up with that, but apparently it thinks it's appropriate. So yeah, right here I'm just trying to fix up the trim, and once I do that, then it just doesn't look right, and I really don't like the look of it. The diagonal part looks way too big, so I end up not doing that. So yeah, I'm going to move it back probably in a few minutes. So, well, not in a few, not in a few minutes, like quite literally, like in a few seconds is probably what the time it'll take because it's sped up so much. Yeah, so here I was just trying to rearrange it, and it just did not work out. And I was trying to do a custom rotation kind of on that, which was just a pain in the butt because you had to perfectly align all those cabinets, so I just gave up on that too. And even so, with the kitchen like it is now, it just did not work. So you can see it's just a mess, really. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I tried to wrap the counters around that angle, but again, it looked terrible. So yeah, I ended up moving the kitchen, which you'll see. So in the end, the kitchen is kind of small, but it looks pretty nice. It's kind of cozy. I mean, the name of the house has the word cozy in it, so you'd expect this house to be cozy, and it is. You know, it's like a lot of nice wood patterns and darker colors, and it's very cozy. And yeah, so you can see here I'm just moving everything back the way it was before I messed it up, and now we're good to go. So I don't know at what point I realized the kitchen is just not going to work there. I think it takes me a little while, so let me actually pronounce that word. I tried to put all the cabinets in and everything like that, but it just doesn't seem to work too well. So yeah, I ended up just pushing it all back to the wall where the stairs are, so you'll see that. And here I'm trying out some custom rotations there on what will be that counter, which later I do that in the final kitchen, but then all the objects that I did that with just disappear. So I don't end up using move objects to like place those objects like with the custom rotation on counters, because not custom rotation, but like custom placement, which you can do. Like if you have move objects on and you place an object on the counter, remove the counter from underneath the object will still be floating there for some reason. Or if you pick up the object and move it off the counter, it will still be floating. You have to have the move objects cheat on for it to work. So then you can place it floating anywhere you want, like using Alt, and then place a cabinet underneath it. So yeah, I think that works for desks too. But for some reason with me, the game just hates me and just makes those objects disappear, so I just don't bother with it. And yeah, that's the story there. So here I'm putting in a gate. You can see I already put a hedge fence all the way around the property, which I thought kind of suited the house well. And there's the gate. And you can see here there's a little vestibule kind of in between the front steps and the front door. So I guess it's kind of like a cover. If there's visitors, they don't have to stand outside. And it is something that I kind of associate with Tudor homes for some reason, though they don't necessarily have that. I don't know. I just thought it looked good with this house. And I do put a little fountain here in the front walkway, and I put some rocks around it. It looks very nice. So you can see I'm doing that now. There you go. Beautiful little fountain there. Adds a bit of detail. And yeah, so I think this is pretty much the extent of landscaping I do at this point. I'll put some trees in, and then I'll come back and do it all later. So yeah, there you go. That's the extent of the landscaping at this point. So now we're going to move to the interior for furnishing, I believe, for proper furnishing. So Putting some lights in, those are always nice to have. And here, I think I'm going to try to mess with the floor plan again. Or maybe not. I'm not sure what I do. I'm just kind of sitting here with the wall tool. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I kind of move the dining room around. I'm trying to figure out what to do. And at that point, I give up. And I'm like, this is way too difficult. I don't want to figure this out. So what I ended up doing was putting some flooring around the place, putting some nice doors there. I like those doors. And I end up coming back the next day and doing it. So yeah, that's the way I do things. I always put things off. So now I believe, oh yeah, I'm just going to put some more ivy. I really love this ivy. It's like my favorite thing with this house. Anyway, putting some more ivy and moving the mailbox. Also, speaking of ivy, I wonder if the Get Together expansion pack will have some kind of ivy object or something like The Sims 3 did, because I know The Sims 3 store had some objects like that. And because, you know, Windenburg, which is the world that comes with the pack, it's kind of like a European town, and I'd imagine that this house would fit in very well there. And I would also imagine that you'd have kind of ivy and stuff growing on houses. At least that's what I picture when I think of like a traditional old European town. So, I don't know, hopefully they'll have those kind of objects. Anyway, you can see here, I'm moving the kitchen back into its proper room. So this is where it's going to end up finally, and I will actually wall it off, so it's kind of like its own little room, because, I mean, this is supposed to be an older house. It's not like it's going to be all open plan or anything. And I get rid of the island too, because that was dumb. So there'll be no island. It's just going to be a relatively decent-sized kitchen that's all walled in. And also, you can see I walled off that diagonal part, which is now going to be the study, because I removed the study when I put in the kitchen there. Yeah, so figuring out the flooring, I go with that flooring that I have in the kitchen right now, and in a moment I'm about to build walls around it. Right, there we go. So, oh, not quite yet. Oh, come on. Oh, move the dining table. Okay, I'm still contemplating it. Oh, there we go. There's the wall. I was just only like a few seconds ahead. And yeah, so now I'm just going to get rid of that island, and I believe that's the final floor plan. Almost a final floor plan anyway. So, it looks pretty good. And, oh yeah, I move over that opening, and there we go. The final floor plan is now in place, and you can see I'm going to finish off the kitchen now, so we'll get some nice cabinets in, and it all looks very nice. I love the brick work on the interior. Like, you can see the entrance hallway had the brick flooring, and the walls in the kitchen have the brick. I don't know, it just kind of looks really cozy. It kind of gives it that rustic, older vibe. Maybe stone would have been more appropriate, but I don't know, I liked the brick, so went with brick. Yeah, here's where I place those objects kind of floating, and then I put the cabinet under them. But all these items I'm placing now disappear later, so I just don't bother doing it again. So, yeah, here I'm just doing a bit more. And, yeah, so the kitchen, as you can see, not huge, but it's decent sized. There's also that nice poster over the sink. Anyway, this is the dining room here, and well, I'm just putting the floors in the house, but anyway, this is the dining room here. Again, decent size, and got a nice 6-seater table there, and I'll put some details in it. And I also was going to put a fireplace in the study, but I didn't end up keeping it. So yeah. Anyway, there's a nice china cabinet and some plants, all the usual. I only put one plant in, and I'm already saying plants, but trust me, there will be multiple plants in this room. Also, I changed out the floor to brick, and what else am I doing here? Yeah, with the dining room, I kind of like go on and off with it. Like, I come and put some stuff in it, then leave, and then come back and put some more stuff in it. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird room that it was kind of hard to furnish. I don't know why. It's maybe the color of the walls. It's kind of hard to find stuff that goes with it well, but I get there in the end. So the living room ends up having a gray, brown, and green color scheme, which is actually pretty nice. So right there, I'm just typing a cheat in. So you got those nice green chairs and some like dark brown leather couches. You know, again, it's a pretty big room, and I wanted to put a piano in it, but there wasn't enough space. The room wasn't that big, but I was able to put a chess table in. So if your Sims want to increase their logic skill, they can do that. And also putting some bookshelves in the study, because that's kind of a room you'd expect to have bookshelves. And another little bookshelf in the living room. Yeah, this house has a lot of bookshelves. I mean, there's a lot of bookshelves in this house. So hopefully whatever Sims you move in here like to read, because they will probably be doing a lot of that. So putting in some curtains, some green ones for the living room to go with those chairs that I put in. And it all looks quite nice at this point in time. So there's the rug. Of quite nice. White rug. You know, this room is not over the top, but it's pretty simple. It's got a nice elegant, that's the right word. It's a nice elegant room. There's the chess table. So, nice white chess table there, so your Sims can learn chess. I don't know, like, why chess is logic. I don't know how knowing chess would really help them excel at whatever career they have. Like, I don't know what careers in the game, like, require a lot of logic. Like, maybe the police officer? I mean, you probably need logic for that. Well, I probably need logic for anything, but I don't know how chess helps with logic too much. I mean, it's a game where you move pieces on a board, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is an incredible place to gain logic, but I just don't think so. Anyway, finishing up the living room here. Got some nice plants in place, and actually the living room is now done. That's exciting. Finishing off the entrance here, I already have a coat hook there, and I also put a shoe rack and a nice side table in place with a mirror over it, so it just looks kind of nice and finished off. And there's only a couple more rooms downstairs, which is this little half bathroom here, which is not too over the top. Again, just got a nice sink and a toilet and some nice lighting, which it takes me a little while to find a good light for this bathroom. And there it is, beautiful. And yeah, some nice details in here, a little cabinet. And oh, I do place that little soap dispenser there, as you can see, using move objects. That was fancy. And there you go. I think I'll put some towels in and a little painting, and that's that bathroom done. So finally, there's only one more room on this floor. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I was doing something. Oh, actually, I never finished the dining room. So what am I talking about? There's technically 2 rooms still to finish. So I put that weird partition wooden thing there because it looked cool. And it looked like it was doing something by filling space. So I put it there. And a little pot of white roses on the table. And I also put some plates on that wall. Not those. I don't put those wooden placards. I put some plates there, so you'll see that in a moment. Also, I love those kind of copper-colored pots in the kitchen, which I just put in. Those are pretty nice. Anyway, I think I'll put one more plant in and call it the dining room done. Yeah, that's what I did. So, now we're moving on to the study, which, as you can see, very wooden colors going on in here. Got that nice dark wood walls, dark wood floors, you know, very typical study-esque thing going on here. And got the green green curtains in here. And yeah, so pretty nice room, decent size. Got those nice big leather chairs. Got the large desk with the large leather executive chair behind it. And a nice computer, a little lamp, you know, all the stuff you'd expect in a study. Also a rug. And yeah, so, you know, your Sims can go in there and use the computer, read a book. That's pretty much all it's good at, all it's good for. So, yeah, I also put a little side table there behind those chairs, and I put some random stuff on there. Also, there's a violin in this room, so if your Sims want to learn the violin, they can do that too. And, oh, look at that, putting that those books there, using move objects as well. And a little cookie jar in the kitchen. You can see all the objects I put in there before it disappeared, which is really annoying. I don't know, I think it's whenever you change the wall color, it makes objects that you place with move objects disappear. Very annoying. Not like all objects, but like objects that you place especially, like the ones when you place it floating above the floor and then put a counter under it, or you raise objects up and down. They like to disappear when you change the wall colors. It's still a glitch that EA has not yet fixed. About a year since Move Objects has come into the game, so good on them. They're just brilliant at quickly fixing bugs. No, they're not. Okay, enough about that. And you can see here, just added a little bit more trim to the outside, putting some outdoor lighting for some reason. And now we're moving upstairs, or at least to the upstairs bathroom. As you can see here, this little guest bathroom is tiny. That's just unfortunate, but I mean, Sims don't need the largest bathrooms in the world. It gets the job done. Got the toilet, sink, and shower in place, and there you go, instant bathroom. And now we're moving on to the little landing here on the second floor. So it's a little sitting area with, of course, you guessed it, a bookshelf. So if your Sims want to read here, they can do that. If reading in the living room is not okay, or reading in the study is something they don't want to do, they can read there too. Where I think there's also a bookshelf in the master bedroom. No, actually, I don't think I put bookshelves in the bedrooms in this house. So, yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, here's the master bedroom, and pretty big room, of course. I mean, it's the master. So you got a fireplace. You also get a flat screen TV, And you got that nice bay window. Looks very nice. Very nice large room. I'm putting in a little sitting area here at the end of the bed. So if you want to sit in those chairs and watch the TV, your Sims can do that. Because I don't believe Sims can watch TV from bed. So if you tell them to watch TV, they'll probably either stand or sit in those chairs. So fun fact there. And putting in some nice curtains. And yeah, so pretty nice master bedroom. Again, like the rest of the house, not too over the top, but it does have a nice cozy look to it. And there you go. Got those little folded clothes and a little plant in the corner there. Also, we'll put a standing floor mirror and some nice artwork. That's a nice piece of artwork there over the bed. A little kind of cool old style lantern type thing on the fireplace mantle. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the master bedroom there. And now we're moving on to the master bathroom, which is kind of small. It's not too big. It's not much bigger than the other bathroom on this floor. I think it's a little bit longer, but it has got the double sinks. I wanted to put a tub in it, but there just was not enough room, so there was no tub, but it gets the job done. I mean, you know, two Sims can brush their teeth there at once if they want to, and yeah. I mean, considering this house is not too big, I mean, it's pretty small. It's on a 30 by 20 lot, I think, and there's still some room in the front and back as well for like yard space, so it's not a huge house, but you can still technically, at least with the beds that I put in this house, sleep 5 Sims, and I guess you could put a double bed in the kids' room and probably expand that up to 6 Sims. So you can have a lot of Sims living in this house if you really want to, you know, so despite its small size, it can accommodate quite a lot of Sims. And yeah, so as I was talking about that, you can see I'm started on this bedroom here. This is the guest bedroom, and it's not very big. I think it's about the same size as the kids' room, maybe a bit bigger actually. So yeah, but you know, it gets the job done. Like I probably said that thing, like I probably said it gets the job done so many times in this video already. Sorry about that. Run out of things to say. So yeah, this bedroom, gray and blue color scheme. Nice little rug there. Pretty small, but it looks nice. So now we're moving on to the kids' room, which is the final room in the house. Pretty exciting. And I go with a blue color scheme. I mean, if you can believe that. I mean, it's like all the bedrooms have a blue color scheme. So there you go. I don't know, I was in a blue mood. Not really, I wasn't sad, I don't know. I was feeling like making up a lot of blue bedrooms on the day I did this, I guess. So the kids' room has a desk in it and a single bed. Like I said, you could probably squeeze a double bed in here if you removed like the desk, and you could probably sleep 6 Sims in this house. But as is, you can sleep 5, so that's pretty good. And putting a lot of posters on the walls and making it look nice and bright and cheery. A little bookshelf. Oh, there's the bookshelf. There's a bookshelf in the kids' room with a chair. So if you want to read in the kids' room or your Sims, I always say like you're going to actually be the Sim in the game, but I should be saying your Sims can read in this room. And I also put that big skull rug on the floor because I thought it looked kind of childish and fun, even though it's supposed to be spooky because it came with the Halloween pack. So anyway, here I'm working on landscaping, and you can see here putting nice kind of ground shrubs and flowers, and it looks quite nice and lush. That was kind of the idea I was going for, and you can see here putting a lot of those kind of tall bushes around the place, and putting a little bit of long grass and some ground flowers and some rocks, and just making it look nice and lush, not overdone, but you know, like nice. And putting some more flowers out in the back here, and yeah, the backyard is not huge, but you know, it's an okay size. I mean, there's not too much stuff to do outside in The Sims 4 anyway, so it's not a huge loss. And there's like a nice grill and outdoor dining area on the porch anyway, so not a huge deal. And here I'm putting in the classic dirt terrain paint that I always do. And anyway, we're almost done with this house, and there'll be some screenshots after this for you to check out. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider checking out my channel and subscribing if you like my other videos. And yeah, so anyway, we're wrapping it up here. Put the grill out, put the outdoor table in, and we are almost done. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.